This video might not be for you, but it's an important video, and I'm hoping that you can help get it to the right person, get it to your eye care professional, doctor, or optical technician. This video is about these eye patches. Now, these are not on the market. I'm not trying to sell them to you, but I do want to tell you how you can make them yourself because they've been extremely useful to me since my eye injury. And, untold thousands of people have problems with where they need to patch their eyes and they have to walk around with a big eye patch over their head. Wearing an eye patch like this is uncomfortable, and especially with glasses. It's also difficult for children. And a lot of children have this condition that I have called strabismus, which is where one of the eyes where your two eyes don't line up together. And so you really have to wear an eye patch to walk around. I'm getting set for eye surgery tomorrow. Hopefully I won't have to wear this patch afterwards, but it's going to be my fourth surgery. Each one's getting a little bit better. This is the end of the road, so I might end up having to wear this for the rest of my life. I don't know. In any case, when I go to the hospital for checkups, the check-in staff says, "Oh, that's such a great idea. Wow, that's cool." If there's an attending staff who's new, who hasn't seen me before, they'll remark on the eye patch. But it's not just when I go to the eye doctors. When I go to the hardware store, maybe I'll be trying to return an item, and the woman behind the counter will say, "My daughter has to wear a patch. My daughter has this condition." And this has happened to me many, many times. Random strangers have asked me about the patch because they know somebody, they have a kid who has the problem, or they know somebody else who might have a problem. So I'm asking you to go and tell your eye care professional, send this video to your eye care professionals, and let them pass it on, give them the news. And again, as I said, I'm not going to make any money off it, but I am going to tell you how you can order the things that you need and what you need to do in order to make the patch by yourself. If you're not going to watch this any further, but you're going to pass it along to somebody who will be able to make use out of it, please do subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. That's all I'm asking. And now let me tell you how to get the supplies that you need and how to make a patch for yourself. Really what you need two things. They're both called patches. One is the patch that is in the back, and the other is what's sew-on or an iron-on patch. And I want to emphasize, you cannot iron this onto this because this will melt. But in principle, basically all you're doing is putting these together. How do you get them? I found after quite a bit of searching that the best thing to do is to go to wish.com, and I'll make it easy for you. What you want to do is search for strabismus eye patch, and you'll find that you get a number of things. Some of these are not strabismus eye patches, but the first three that I got on this particular day are, and you can see they're all pretty cheap. If this is going to be a few bucks, that price is probably for two, but we'll see. The important thing here is to get the right size, because this one here is a kid size. It's a smaller size, and you can scroll down. It will give you the dimensions. Here they are. Those are small ones for kids. These are larger ones, and here the dimensions show that we're at 12.5 centimeters, which is a good size, big size. And then these are mediums, 10.6 centimeters over here. And the reason this is important, of course, is that different glasses have different dimensions. So you need different patches for a smaller lens than for a larger lens, which I found out the hard way after I got these bifocals and found out that my smaller patches didn't work. So I had to go back and order the larger size so that I could get patches that worked for my larger lenses. Also for my sunglasses, needed the bigger ones. And at that point, I could only find the larger size in blue the day that I was doing the ordering. So I ended up with blue. So the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need what are called iron-on patches or sew-on patches. Now remember, you're not going to iron these on, but you can just, again, in Wish, you can just do this search for iron-on patches. And then you'll find that there are collections of patches. You can get a whole bunch of them. Random, they're not going to be necessarily these same ones that you see here. Although looking at that, I have a whole bunch of those. I don't think I ever got the pizza slice. I'm sure I didn't get this thing with the cross. And again, some of these are going to be great. Some of them will be awful. I mean, you really have to kind of roll the dice. But the most important thing here is to pay attention to the size of the patch. Because if the patch is too big, then it's not going to be something that's usable to you. Looks like I have one from this very collection. So let's see. That little planet there would fit, but that's about the maximum size. Does it give us the sizes? In this case, yes, it's giving the sizes there. So that's 5 by 5 centimeters, so that's the perfect size. But this one would go over the edge and that wouldn't work, some of these. So you really want to pay attention to that. And it's quite possible you can find these at your local craft store. I found this mousse in a tourist shop in Stockholm and immediately sat down and started sewing it on the train that evening. What I like about the patches is that I can wear a different one every day, or I can wear the same one for a week. It's kind of like having a tattoo that you can change. So that this eyeball was the first one that I tried, and it turned out it was a bit too creepy, so I don't actually wear this usually. You don't want to freak people out. This one for also looks a little bit too angry, so depends on the mood that I'm in. But this lion was sent by an old friend who found this in a store near where she lives. Sometimes you feel like a space alien. There's the mousse, and this actually really works on my bifocals because I need bifocals when I go to the store so I can read the little things on the bottom of the package. And this warns other people in the store who I'm going to be in close proximity to that actually there is kind of a little bit of danger. Don't knock into this guy. He's not going to see you. And I often wear this one when I'm out because kids love it. It's cartoonish. They smile. It doesn't freak anybody out. This one, probably this one, and the bumblebee and the dolphin are the ones that have gotten the biggest smiles and that kids have seemed to like. And while I'm on the subject of the patches, I also found I got some patches and sewed them onto a hat. And this, actually the eye on the back of the hat is not particularly creepy. And then had this hand embroidered. It's the French for visually impaired, and it having a bright orange hat and a warning sign on the back of my head saying visually impaired works pretty well often to warn people that they should be cautious as they walk around me. Not everybody's paying attention, but it does help. So I would recommend this as well. Much as I tried, I couldn't find a patch that said visually impaired in any language. So this friend actually had an embroidery machine where she could program in things. And so she made the patch specially. But that's something I don't know how to tell you how to search out. Here you see a number of the eye patches that could actually work on the medium size or the larger size glasses patch. I have a whole bunch of other patches that are just too big or inappropriate to use, so don't know what we're going to do with all of these patches. This butterfly would be far too big, for example. Here there are a number of patches that I've picked out that might be big and that might be the right size for the larger or the smaller. So let's just have a look at some of them. Now, it's really important when you're putting on the patch that you figure out which eye it's going on, because a lot of these patches don't work upside down. So it's either going to be for the left eye or it's going to be for the right eye. But if this guy were to go on the wrong way, then it would look kind of silly, right? Okay, so that is if you're covering your right eye. It's here it's different if you're covering your left eye. In this case, the little panda bear is oriented in the same way, but the patch is oriented differently. Okay, so there's the difference. And we can look at a few others, how they would go. That apple is kind of cute. This, if I still need a patch at Halloween, I think I'll put it on the blue one. It looks better on the blue background. Planet looks pretty good on the bigger blue. A little too big for the smaller one. And that's also going to give you problems perhaps when you try sewing. Another good Halloween one, and also probably better on the blue for the size reasons. I think I like this best because the bright red warns people that you have somebody who's visually impaired. Another space alien thing getting towards the size limit, probably too big for the black patch. And this is something that probably a little kid would love to have if they're feeling like they're in a snail mood. Okay, so you've ordered your packages from wish.com. They've arrived. Now you want to sit down and sew the patch on yourself. So I'm going to do one patch here. And the important thing here is to watch to make sure that you don't sew the back and the front together, right? You have to be really careful as you do your sewing to keep the two sides separate. So here's another patch that I ordered. And you can see that I'm deciding making sure which eye it's going on. For me, I need the left eye covered usually. And starting this, and you have to be careful going through. Obviously you don't want to prick yourself, and you have to be really careful to hold the patch so that you're getting it, so it's level, that it comes out correctly on the background, not tilted, and that you don't want to, because you have to have a thread that is the right color, you have to make sure that that color is only going to the part where the color is appropriate. Now, I learned everything I know from my mother before I turned 7 about sewing. So you are watching the sewing skills of a 6-year-old here, but you can see I'm being really careful to try not to make sure not to get into, to get the front and the back. And at some point pretty soon we're going to find that we get to flip, so that now we're coming at it from the other direction. Yes. Still on the top now. Or is this where I did the flip? Okay. Still coming through from the top. And it's just a pretty basic stitch. Basically what you want to do is make sure that the two pieces are attached, but you're not really, this is not high fashion. You don't really need to worry about it. Your patch is not going to have a lot of rubbing and tension, so you want to make sure that it stays on, but you don't have to be too concerned about it. You also want to make sure that you have given yourself enough thread, otherwise you're going to have to rethread another time, and that can be a pain in the tuchus. But here we're already coming around the corner, and soon we're going to come so that we're coming from the other side again. And we'll probably put on some music on the background here so that you can enjoy the tension of us coming to an end of this little project. Now this probably took about 20 minutes all told. You can obviously see that I put it on fast forward. We are coming to the end, so we're going to soon sew it off. I stick the needle through and make a knot in the best way that my 6-year-old sewing skills know how. There's the knot. I think maybe I did it a second time. Yep. Now this is going to be there forever. And there is the new patch. Let me put it on. And perfect. I'm feeling 99%. So at 99%, I am going to go get ready to have surgery tomorrow. Hopefully I won't need to actually wear this anymore, but I hope that you find this useful, or that the people you know, that your eye professional finds this useful, that they're able to let their patients know about it, because it really can make life a little bit more pleasant if you have to go through this unpleasantness of only having one eye that you can use at a time. So thanks for watching, thanks for passing it along, thanks for subscribing to the Pirate Professor channel. It really would be helpful for me if you just click that subscribe button. I hope that this video made your day or somebody else's day a little bit brighter, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Well, there's a little codicil. I had my surgery this week, and it was, let's say, not a success. I don't know what the future holds for my strabismus. This operation just sort of seemed to reverse the problem from an angle that way to an angle that way. We'll see, but meanwhile, I didn't want to come home and cry in my beer, so instead I put together some more patches. So I'll just show off the new patches that I made. That one. The strawberry. I like this Saturn for my sunglasses. And a very elegant one for stepping out in the evening with some music. I think I'll wear the strawberry while I finish editing the video.